Reopened, but classes won't resume until next week. And now, disturbing new details are emerging about what played out in one of those classrooms before the gunman killed his victims. This account comes from a father of one of the survivors.
She remembers another lady that was called to the front, and the shooter says, if you will beg for your life, you will not die. Lacey's hearing all of this. The lady began to beg for her life, and apparently it wasn't good enough. He shot her. He called for another young man to come up front and said, you're the lucky one. You're going to live today. Everything that you need to know about me and what I'm doing is in my backpack. Flash drive in there, and it will give you all the information you need. She then heard another lady say to the shooter, I'm so sorry for what you've gone through. I'm so sorry that you've been hurt. And he said, and as Lacey would say, I quote, I bet you are, but it's not good enough. And with that, he shot her.
All right, so you know what? I saw a lot of news shows this week talking about this this weekend, and nobody has any answers. I mean, the president gets up and claims it's really easy, that if it's just Republicans, no, he did. It's just Republicans. If they just passed some legislation, things would be better. What I found in this shooting, Mike, seemed to be a realization, and it's whether it's these mass shootings or it's Chicago, where 60 people were killed in September. There are no easy answers. There are no easy answers. I read the New York Times piece yesterday and was trying to look for, okay, well, what legislation would work here? And what? I'm not afraid of legislation, but you go through it. And there are no easy answers to any of these questions. I will tell you the one thing I did note, though. The one thing I noticed is that this guy knew that if he did this, things like this would happen, and he would be recognized, and they would write a manifesto. And I really would hope, and I'm sure that there's just something terribly wrong with this, but like I saw on Fox News yesterday, the graphic that we're 290 days in, Fox News Sunday, and we have basically more mass shootings than days of the year.
Yeah.
And I think in part it is an effort for people to get attention. I really wish we could stop giving the names of these people who are committing these heinous crimes in large part for the attention, because they go out in their twisted minds as folk heroes.
Look, there are no easy answers that are going to unlock whatever disease, whatever poison was in this guy's mind. We're not going to be able to answer that. Yeah. We are going to be able to address, or we ought to be able to address at some level, the fact that he had a 14-gun collection in his apartment. 14 guns, right, including the AR-15, an assault weapon.
Why does he need that?